good Thursday morning to you, DBS viewing family. It's always such a pleasure to wake up in your company. Let's go on over to the news desk, see what's happening there. We'll be back.
Good morning. Time now for the news with me, Timothy Polion. An August 1st deadline for the implementation of a minimum livable wage and funding for major house and road projects through the Citizenship by Investment Program among the major plans to be implemented for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. The island's Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Philip J. Pierre, made these revelations as he delivered his budget address on Tuesday.
It is our responsibility, Mr. Speaker, as the party in government, to continue pursuing our founders' vision, to keep improving the wages and conditions of the workers of this country. This is why, in 2022, we appointed a minimum and equal wages commission comprising representatives of the trade unions, private sector, and governments. I'm pleased to report, Mr. Speaker, that this commission has completed its preliminary report, and the way forward will be as follows. In compliance with the provision of the Labour Act, Cap 16.04, the Commission shall proceed to prepare the draft order containing a recommended minimum wage for publication in the Gazette and to present its recommendations to the representatives of employees and employers as prescribed by the Labour Act. It is our hope and our desire to follow the rules that St. Lucian workers will have a new minimum livable wage by August 1st, 2024.
In other news, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Investment, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, has given key stakeholders in the CIP industry the assurance that the St. Lucia government is doing everything possible to protect the program. Dr. Hilaire was at the time addressing the Investment Migration Forum, which was recently held in Dubai.
We receive regular market intelligence reports, and like you, we know what's going on. I can assure you that we do try ceaselessly and endlessly to dissuade and discourage such practices. The truth is, we are limited in what we can do. I can't speak for others, but I know that we've included in our contracts the requirement that such practices are prohibited. In any event, for the record, St. Lucia no longer has any real estate offerings, so I'm not sure exactly what it was meant in the publication. We have had only one real estate offering, and it is fully subscribed.
Finally, from us this morning, the Island Civil Service Association yesterday held its elections of officers. Noting a decrease in voter turnout over the last two elections, the CSA Election Commission is hoping that candidates did their due diligence to ensure a higher voter turnout.
Maybe some people are just not encouraged to come out and vote, maybe dissatisfied with certain aspects. I think the CSA needs to engage its membership, make sure all the shop stewards are in place, engage the membership, and find out what it is that they are dissatisfied with. If they're dissatisfied, whatever they're satisfied with, you need to go both ways and be able to set out to work to raise the image of the CSA in its membership, in the eyes of its membership.
That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching. Coming up at noon is our next news major, the Lunchtime Report. I'm Timothy Polio. Good morning.
Well, thank you, Timothy. We now need to take a short break, and we will be right back. The month of April, as you would have known, is Youth Month, and we had quite a number of amazing youths that we were able to, tap into their energies, and we thought, yes, we have to share them with you. The month is wrapping up, so we have two of them this morning, and we want to share their insight with you. We have Rahim. Rahim is a brilliant young man, and he's going to be our first feature. So we're here again during the month of April. It is Youth Month, and we've got like I keep mentioning, we've got a number of brilliant youths amongst us, making up the fabric of St. Lucia, who continues to pour in, and definitely we could see that the future is bright. So much negative things is highlighted that sometimes we miss the opportunity to see so many of the positives. And I think this is a perfect and opportune time for us to do just that, zero in on some of the youths who are making some really wonderful contributions. And one such is this gentleman with us right here, Raheem. Raheem James is a remarkable young man doing great things. Right? Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me. Maureen, at least in a different setting.
I know, isn't it? Right. Well, different, yeah, but we're touching on everything today because we need to strike the balance here so persons can understand that there can be balance in existence. Let's talk a little bit about yourself and your journey, Rai. Where it came from, how it went, where it's at, where it's going, that kind of thing.
I guess where we start, it starts from a young child, just I guess running around in the backyard at St. Mary's College, even prior to that at the Otter Primary School. Mm-hmm. And my teacher then saying that why are you running around playing, but then you're talking more than you're playing? And therefore she says, come to this public speaking competition because nobody wants to go. And then it started there, and then I got a love for the National Tourism Public Speaking Competition, albeit I couldn't participate because I may have been too young within the first few years of inception. Wow. But then I participated in Form 5 amidst the difficulties of CXC because it was postponed the year before, and I said that I needed to participate. I came second there, and then the public speaking career sort of kick-started via that one competition. So that was St. Mary's College. I wouldn't go around saying that I was the best academic then. I think the structures were quite right. And whether it be the football or the cricket that I played my hand in, actually captained the St. Mary's College cricket team for a while. And so these things will piqued my interest then. And I probably thought at one time I would have been an international cricketer. I know better now. After that, I sort of found my academic footing when I went to South Louis Community College and did law, sociology, and history, and after which getting the law prize. And now I'm doing law at the UWI Cable campus.
Wow. Certainly. So you're not going to play cricket no more? The cricket lawyer?
Well, that may be the better option. I think so then that may be more lucrative.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Well, let's talk about what's happening now with you. Now that you've gotten the opportunity to zero in on what it is that you think you believe your calling and your passion is, where does it go from here? Where are you at right now? What is going on around you? What are some of the challenges you're facing? What are some of the things that you're seeing that you decided, okay, from now, when I do forward out of this, these are some things that I would like to champion. These are some things that I would like to, work on.
Yeah. So as it currently stands, I am at the UWI Cable, as I said, studying law. I did a prior degree in political science and law, where I was also the valedictorian and received some awards last year. But really for me at this point, I am continuing to consider the impact that law and politics could have on the development of my country. So whether it be the inability of people to understand the governance structure and be deliberately included in decision making, whether it be the inability of individuals within society to even understand their fundamental rights and freedoms, or even how the system itself works and how they too can help improve it. But also whether it can be just children and young people that I know that have not been exposed to the opportunities that I have been exposed to, and finding a way that they too can benefit from some of these educational and extracurricular activities that I have had the pleasure, the benefit, and the blessing to be able to have. And that, for me, I believe has changed my life in a way that I may have never imagined. And therefore, a lot of conversation, as you mentioned, Maureen, at the beginning, centers around young people being seen as problems and not solutions. But I always say that it really is the lack of an enabling environment that's caused them to be able to resort to a life of crime or to a deviant or whatever it is that you want to call it. And therefore, once we can recenter the conversation and find the ideal of young role models across our society, but two, find the enabling space that gives them the opportunity to shine in whatever area that they deem fit, then I believe they would be much more, I guess, fruitful citizens, so to speak. So that is my calling, or that is the championing that I want to do, providing spaces for young people, particularly in academia, because that I believe is my interest.
Wonderful. Second feature, again, another young person doing amazing stuff. The name is Amy Cassell. Dr. Amy Cassell is in our company, and we are delighted. We are definitely pleased that she's able to join us. All the way from where, Amy? Where are you?
Oh, I'm in a very small town called Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, you're from Nebraska. You're in Nebraska. You're not from.
I'm not from. No.
You're in
no.
Nebraska. You're actually in Lucian, isn't it? You have some background from back home.
Very
Tell
much
us a
so.
little bit about you, Amy. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up all the way in Nebraska.
You know, it's it's a great story because I've always been a big fan of mathematics and biology. Back at SJC, I did all the biology, chemistry, physics, all that kind of good stuff. And I was looking into what I wanted to do next, and I have a uncle who's an ER physician in Omaha, Nebraska. So when I was looking into what I wanted to do, it was like, oh, well, obviously I did sciences, you have to do medicine. That's your next step. And my uncle had said, well, you should come here. You can shadow with me, have some time to really see what it's like being a doctor. I'm very squeamish. It's something that everyone said, oh, you'll get over, like you'll figure it out. No, I see blood and I turn ash white. I'm done. There's nothing to be done with it. I've attempted. I've really tried to figure it out. So it didn't seem like that was going to happen. It was one of those things I was like, well, there goes that doctor title. We're done. But I had started an undergrad in biotech out in Nebraska. And ended up in a lab where I did virology, so study of viruses. And I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. I thought this might be a path forward where I could still keep that biological side of things and just do stuff on the research side. But I'm also a big fan of mathematics, loved it to the point that when I was an undergrad, I had said, oh, I need a minor in it. And I taught mathematics for a bit out there in Omaha. So I decided, okay, let's do math. Let's do a master's in mathematics. And it was through that master's in mathematics, I did some fun courses, chaos theory, Boolean networks, all of these really interesting things where you realize just how integrated bio and mathematics really is, that mathematics is just such a huge standing point and a huge structural point to get to a lot of these other sciences. So I thought, okay, well, I did the master's and I still wanted that doctor title. So I thought the next step then had to be a PhD because it wasn't going to be medicine. So I found a program here in Lincoln, Nebraska called Complex Biosystems, which was a very fancy way of saying computational biology. And I thought, perfect, let's give it a go, and ended up getting that PhD.
Right. So what do you do now? A lot of what you're saying, they're flying over my head like, whoops, you know?
That's okay. My mom still isn't exactly sure what I do. She's always like, what is it again that you do? So not to worry.
Right.
With the PhD, essentially, there's a lot of path forwards from that. You can go into industry, you can do academia. Academia is the route I'm more looking into. So with academia, I liked that aspect of teaching, but you still get to do a lot of that research. So it's quite broad when it comes to the research. It really is kind of what you're trained in, like small bits, but then it changes over time. So as I had said, I started in virology, but my research now is actually looking at the tiniest little soil microbes that help with plant growth. It's changed a lot over time, but it's interesting to see just how a lot of the practices in one can then be related into another one. Starting a postdoc where I then just get to do more research. So that's going to be my life now.
Wonderful. Now, how do you see that? Now, I'm always trying to tie these things back to back home, you know. Now you're doing that level of research where you're now able to test soils and do this thing and you know, effect how it is that, you know, the right soil, you know, can help better grow better plants and stuff like that. And where St. Lucia is at right now, where the Caribbean is at right now, where we've been talking a lot about, you know, diversification, heading back into the fields, and you know, making that getting ourselves sustainable once again. Do you see yourself coming back home at any time and maybe lending to that mission?
You know, I would really love to. I was actually speaking to a friend, my friend Keith Linker, who started Her Interactive.
Oh yeah, from Helen's
And
daughter.
yes,
Right.
and she like does all that stuff with the agricultural side of things, which I ended up speaking to her. I said, "Do you know if there is any research in looking at some of the soil down home in St. Lucia? Because that is of importance to me, and I'd like to think that anything that you take is just something that you eventually bring forward, and you're like, hey, let's see how we can relate this back. And I try to relate a lot of things back home, and knowing some of the stuff that I know now makes me very fascinated and very interested in some of the stuff that you could do down in St. Lucia with it, because I don't think a lot of it is brought up. I've met a few professors along the way. One professor actually does some studies down in Trinidad, so he would go down every summer and do some research in Trinidad, but it's nothing to do with soil work. But I had thought, oh, it'd be so great to look at some of these soils. I mean, there's such a difference in the soils that down in the Caribbean, then you don't see the soils that I work with. The soils that we work with have to do with a lot of growth with corn or wheat, or grasslands, and you don't have that kind of aspect. You see a lot more of the tropical climate, that volcanic soil. How is that affecting things? What kind of microbes do you have? But it'd be really interesting. I think it's incredibly important, and it's something that we're really realizing is very important to plant health. So why would it matter, you know, what area it's in? So yeah, I would love to see it brought back down home, and see what we can do with it. I think that would be great. I think that'd be fantastic, actually.
Wonderful. Amy, my 5 minutes is up. Our 5 minutes is up. In closing, just briefly, because you're a young person, you know, going after your dream was something that probably looked a little bit like it was not going to be happening, but you defied the odds and you decided, okay, this is what I want and it's doable, and you made it happen. So just strong for other young persons about following their dreams and sticking true to it.
You know, I want to say dreams change. And so I want every young person really to just think a lot about everything that's out there. I think a lot of times we can be very limited in what we think is next, and it really isn't. There really is a lot of opportunities out there, especially if you're going to what feels like some of these small universities. There are a lot of different grants, a lot of fellowships and stuff that can really help international students, especially, which I've been very thankful for. And so just look out there and don't feel like you have to go somewhere big or somewhere very different. Start small maybe, but really just put yourself out there. Just kind of go with the flow a little bit, and really networking is key, especially in this industry. So just start reaching out. Just I mean, we use LinkedIn a lot in the science field, so you can just really reach out to a lot of professors that way and just start talking about their research. And a lot of times they will do everything they can to try and get you into their labs, which is fantastic. So give it a go.
Thank you, Amy. We are proud of you, girl. Keep doing you,
Great.
and we can't wait for when you actually get to come back home and apply some of this knowledge and experience with us.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. And in our third and final segment for today, a woman's songbook. That is the production. Of course, we had a little bit on it already before here on the morning show, but we went in a little deeper this time around because we had even one of the cast members who joined us. Right, well, we did give you a little insight, well, a little tip of the iceberg on the Woman's Songbook, that production, also part of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival that is upcoming. This is, of course, going to be this coming Wednesday. at the National Cultural Center, a woman's songbook. So this time around, we don't just have the producer, we also have one of the characters. And I think the last time you told us it was really based off of her. She was actually the inspiration behind the entire thing. So I am very, very grateful that you could have joined us. Claudia Edward is here. Sophia,
Hello.
sorry. Talk to
Yes.
me nice.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Tell us from your standpoint, your perspective, a little bit about this entire woman's songbook and what it means for you.
Huh.
It means working with me.
It's a beautiful production. It's a production that requires our sweat and our tears, all our energy, our blood,
Right.
everything. And as the director says, when we perform, we just perform like we're going to die after. So we give it everything. So it's really a tough production, but it's a lot of fun to actually see everybody come together and see the music, how it comes together with the acting. And it's just a great team as well. So it's been a wonderful experience so
Well,
far.
we were told that it was inspired by you, basically. You want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I went to Adrian in 2018 and I said, I have this idea that I want to do a little bistro kind of setup show for myself, just me, and I need his input. Adrian comes back with this elaborate thing, and I'm like,
what I
Adrian. And that's what I get for calling
3D.
Adrian.
It's
Yes,
gonna be- yes.
yes.
Adrian 3D. Whatever you bring to Adrian is going to be, yeah.
Yes, and it became this big thing, and he and Drainy at the time as well would work together, and I was like, we can't do this. And it's like, why can't I said this is going to be expensive.
And I said, don't dream on a budget.
Yes,
Ah.
that was his line.
And I would like the whole of St. Lucia to think about that. Don't dream on a budget. The financial reality will come to life soon enough. But when we are exploring our dreams, our potential, our huge human capacity, money has nothing to do with that.
Right.
Dream
We'll
first.
figure that out after.
Yes, dream
Right,
first.
right. And I dreamt.
It wasn't a nightmare. It was not a nightmare.
Not the whole thing wasn't a nightmare.
Parts of it.
But yeah, and we made it happen in 2018, and this year again with collaboration CDF and Event St. Lucia, we are back again with the show. But the people who have seen it before said to me, "Is it going to be the same?" No, it's not going to be the same. You're going to be wondering, "Oh, did I see this?" Because everything is different about it.
Right, including the setting, Adrian. Is it the same setting?
As in this, the location is
the
the National
location.
Cultural Center. The last time we did it was at Sandals Grand
No, the
in the
setting in terms
Palladium.
of the-
But
the-
the set is essentially the Bombshell Bar, and it is essentially 4 women in a bar on a rainy Friday night. They can't go anywhere, so they have to talk to each other. So that has not changed. The look adjusted slightly, but the essential setting enhanced but not changed.
Right, maybe the discussion pattern has changed. Some of the things that it's been discussed. Maybe the topics have changed around a little bit. I'm trying to pick them here,
It's not a talk show, you see, discussion. It is an unfolding and unlayering of these amazing personalities who, the best line I can think of, who share their torments and their tenderness. And that's really what it is. But these are real people, as I think I might have used that phrase before. So the physical environment is not as important as the emotional environment. And that's really what they're exploring in very, very honest ways, very relevant to today, to what women go through, what relationships are like, what, at workplace, discrimination, triumphs, terror, and the tenderness. I think what I like about the play as the most is the tender moments between these hard-edged women who think that they can't be, they can't soften. Well, guess what? They can. They can. Yeah.
The Lions.
Yes.
Wonderful. So you are going to be joined by 3 other
Yes,
amazing
Darlene
St. Lucia.
Anius, Deanna Phillip, and our newest addition.
Xavier. Doesn't that sound like it should be like on a billboard
I know,
somewhere?
Akela Javel.
Javel, Xavier. I mean,
Yeah, that's nice actually.
it rolls off the
It will-
tongue, it's-
Very nice. It's a star name.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
star name.
What has been the response? Have persons been the ticket wise? Or persons been gravitating to it? Because it's a cultural center, so there is going to be a limitation in terms of accommodation.
Well,
So persons
new and-
wanting
the
to be
new
there.
and improved cultural
That's
center.
right.
Yeah.
New and improved.
As a matter of fact, I'm a little bit worried. I think I have to make a little bit more VIP space on the floor because, because the VIP tickets are really
Yes.
going very quickly. So if you want one, I think you need to act now through the Jazz portal, Jazz ticket portal,
And the cell.
also the cell. And if you really can't find any, call us. We'll arrange it for you.
Wonderful.
We'll send the limo around it.
Delivery
Wonderful.
service.
So this coming Wednesday at the new and improved National Cultural Center.
It's a week from
one
today.
time.
It is a
Yes,
week from
yes,
today,
yes.
yes.
Oh my
1 week.
God.
Yes.
Exactly
Yes.
1 week.
Yes.
From
That gives you a little
7.
flutter,
What
right?
time?
Yeah.
What time it would be for?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
For
VIP.
the VIP reception and 8 o'clock start of the show.
Show
The
time.
show.
Yes. So if
Yes.
you come into the VIP, which is a champagne type reception, you come an hour before, which is 7. And if you're just coming regular, and there's still time to upgrade, you would arrive for a start at
8.
8. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And the show starts on time, 8
It
p.m.
most definitely
That's
will.
it.
Sounds like we've got a plan here, no?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Any last thing you want to point at them? No?
Well, we want to say thank you to our sponsors.
Sure.
We certainly do.
Yeah,
Certainly
we
do.
have Coco Palm. We have Blue Waters.
Tell them why we have Coco Pop.
Well, Coco Palm accommodated our director,
who flew in
who
from
flew in
New
from
York,
New York.
Mr. Alvin Hippolyte.
Hippolyte,
Yes.
Right.
Blue Waters is taking care of our team during rehearsals with water and also on the night
On
of
the
the
evening,
evening of
yes.
the event. We have JP Shanae.
Oh, lovely.
They'll be on board. They are on board as well.
They're our bubbly
And
supplier
they're,
right
they,
through the evening.
Yep.
Nice.
And we have chairmans.
We most certainly do, and they're going to be
Part of
offering
our-
special chairman's based drinks. They are I think I can say they're the official rum of the Kenosha Jazz Festival. I hope I'm not getting in trouble for that. But if they're not, they should be.
Yeah.
Trouble.
So we have them on board as well. And we have
And we have Heineken. Saucy assures me that he's going to come on board. So we're going to hopefully do a full array of products from Heineken.
Yes,
There.
yes.
I said it. You can't back out now.
I know, right? It'll be sad if they're not there.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be totally sad.
And we have Landmark Events
Certainly.
Yes. You know who that
And-
is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
and Warehouse 11, where we had our rehearsals.
Oh.
Because that's a big
That's-
deal,
that's
getting the
That's
space.
at
Yeah.
PSA. And I mean, just being able to go in there and have space to rehearse in an almost stage-like condition.
Yeah.
So our dimensions of our playing area, our audience area, our sound, all of those things contribute to the readiness of the production. So now that we've moved to the cultural center, we just do, it's a small shift into a space which feels very much like where we were before. So,
Yeah.
so the prep process is continuous. And that's very important to
Familiarity.
the quality of the show, yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Anybody else?
Did we forget anybody?
No one say thank you to our band.
Let's talk a little bit about the musicians, because really,
Yes.
Kenson Hippolyte is our musical director, and yesterday he was doing the harmonies with the girls
Yeah.
for these amazing songs that we're singing. And I really did think to myself, and I want to say that for the public record, I was thinking to myself, nobody else would do that. The way
No,
that
not
the
like him.
attention, the attention to each voice, each harmony,
Yeah.
each line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
mean,
like
he's
you
doing-
should know your part.
Yeah,
It-
he's
it's not
really-
like that.
And he enjoys it. I think
Yes,
you can
yes.
tell looking at him, he
Yes.
enjoys
He's
it. So
passionate
the
about it.
musical quality is beyond my expectations, and that's not easy. So trust me. Sarah, our stage manager,
Yes.
who never talks about herself but gets all sorts of magic done behind the scenes.
That's
Sarah
true.
Montplaisir.
Yes.
We were just in St. Vincent producing the first event at the New Sandals Resort there, and she was a fantastic member of our team, and she's with us again. And we have the lights and sound crew from Landmark Events. And did we need to say anything else? Who else do we have here?
That's
Back
it.
at the ranch, Valerie and Anna and
Yeah.
Simon.
Valerie
Yeah.
is such a blessing.
Yeah, she's
a
a little
blessing.
force of gravity.
Yes.
Keeps the world
You can't
spinning.
get Adrian, you call her.
Yeah.
She'll get it done.
She'd get
Yes.
me. Yeah. And Simon for putting down the stage with Naz
Yes,
and everybody else.
yes.
Yeah, amazing. So we're actually in situ in the cultural center as of Sunday, Monday, and we rehearsed there yesterday, and it's just going great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
It sounds like we all get up and ready to go.
Yes, we're ready.
So we're looking forward to a woman's songbook on this next Wednesday. 1 week, exactly 1 week to go, and we look forward to what is to come.
Yes. Oh, the wave.
The Wave.
The Wave. Thank
That
you.
competing network.
I know.
Thank you to The Wave. They're
Yes.
on board providing opportunities for publicity and also interviews.
Yes.
So and DBS, I think we have to upgrade DBS.
Yeah,
to
we'll have
official-
to. Yeah.
Official media sponsor.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Let it be done.
Let it be done.
Thank you guys so much. Claudia, thank you. Adrian, thank you so very much. And here ends our show for this morning. Go on out and be great again. I always encourage you to do that. Be grateful. And if you can't be kind, be quiet. But go and have an awesome day today. Let's do it again tomorrow.